Hi, today we're going to talk about a topic that already affects almost every aspect of our lives, including PIM systems. And that topic is artificial intelligence. How can you use AI in PIM to efficiently create product descriptions? Currently, the most commonly used AI features in PIM systems are generating product descriptions and translating those descriptions into different languages. In today's episode, we'll take a closer look at these functionalities. Let's start with the translation generation mechanism. In PIM systems like Akeneo, with the Growth Advanced and Premium licenses, as well as in all license versions of Ergonode PIM, the user has the option to use a built-in translation generation mechanism within the PIM system. For text attributes in the system interface, there is a dedicated Generate Translation button available. In the PIM, we indicate which language version we want to base the translation on, and we define into which language we want to translate this text field. Thanks to this functionality, preparing translations for product descriptions takes place directly in the PIM, without the need to, for example, copy the text into another tool. Creating the translation takes from a few to several seconds. After this time, the user can view and check the generated translation in the field of the specific language version. When it comes to translations, there is often concern about incorrect translation of certain words, especially specialized vocabulary, where there is little room for flexibility. In such situations, a feature available in PIM systems comes to the rescue: the ability to write your own prompts. Thanks to this, the user can specify how artificial intelligence should prepare the translation. For example, they can indicate specific translations for certain words used in the industry, which ensures terminological consistency. What elements are particularly important for AI, and what should you keep in mind when creating your own translation prompt? First and foremost, AI should know the purpose of the translation, whether it should be marketing, technical, or formal. It's also important to define the target audience. Is the translation intended for experts or for consumers? This will help better tailor the style and manner of communication. AI should be given a list of key terms with their preferred translations. If there is specific terminology used in a given industry, it's worth including it in a glossary. If the translation needs to maintain certain formatting, such as bullet points, it's important to specify this in the prompt. AI should also adapt the message to sound natural in the target language. Linguistic calques should be avoided, and where necessary, AI should be encouraged to paraphrase. If a brand has an established tone of communication, AI should maintain it. You can also provide an example of a previous translation to better match the style. If the translation needs to have a maximum character count, it's worth specifying that, as well as clarifying whether AI can shorten the content or should prepare a one-to-one translation. Finally, it's a good idea to emphasize that the translation should be clear and natural, not just linguistically correct. Thanks to the ability to create your own prompts in the PIM system and to guide the AI toward a specific translation style, the prepared content is of high quality, and the time needed to produce it is much shorter than with traditional translation methods. As I mentioned at the beginning, the built-in translation generation mechanism is available in the paid licenses of the Akeneo PIM system as well as in all versions of the Ergonode license. So, what does the use of AI look like in Akeneo Community, the open-source version of the PIM system? In Akeneo Community, we can use plugins that extend the system's capabilities. An example is a plugin developed by our Macopedia team, which supports the translation process by connecting the PIM system with ChatGPT. In addition to the plugin, we have also built our own external application for translations and for generating product descriptions based on other attributes. So if you are using or considering implementing this open-source version of the PIM system, you also have the option to automate translations and generate descriptions using AI. We, on the other hand, can support you in this process. Now, let's move on to the second functionality, generating product descriptions. In this case, AI creates a new description based on the available product attributes. The mechanisms built into PIM systems allow the user to specify which data the AI should take into account, for example, the product name, dimensions, or marketing features. Just like in the translation module, the user can write their own prompt to customize how the content is generated. For example, we can specify that the AI should not change the product name or modify certain features of the device. What elements are worth including in the prompt? Above all, it's worth specifying whether the description should have a particular structure, for example, divided into a headline, a list of features, and a summary. We can also indicate whether certain sections should be preserved, such as a general description, usage, or specifications. Next, We specify which PIM attributes should be included in the generated description. In most PIM systems, the user can select these attributes from a list or mark them on the product card. It's also important to add information on whether the AI should skip empty or incomplete attributes. We can also specify the tone of the description, whether it should be marketing-oriented, technical, expert, or accessible to a broad audience. Just like with translations, you can guide the AI to use specific industry vocabulary. The length of the description is another important element. It's worth specifying whether the AI should generate text with a maximum character count, for example up to 500 characters. Equally important is indicating whether the description should be tailored to different platforms, such as Amazon, Allegro, or e-commerce, and whether it should include keywords for SEO. The more detailed the prompt and the more precise the instructions, the higher the quality and the better tailored the generated description will be. Creating the first prompt may take a moment, but using it will bring real benefits to the team when preparing each subsequent product card. You might be wondering how to ensure data quality in the PIM and at the same time confidently make use of artificial intelligence. Despite the advancements in AI technology, it is always recommended to check and verify the content generated with its use. It is worth implementing an appropriate workflow in the PIM system that supports the process of reviewing descriptions and translations. Thanks to this, content will be verified and approved by those responsible for accurate product data before it appears on the website or in e-commerce. Integrating AI with PIM systems brings many benefits. First and foremost, I would highlight speed. Creating descriptions or translations takes just a few moments. This is a much faster method than, for example, copying content into external tools, writing prompts each time, or using translation agencies and service providers. Another benefit is cost savings. Automating these processes in the PIM system reduces expenses related to outsourcing translations or content creation to external companies. I would also emphasize flexibility, meaning the ability to create your own prompts that allow you to generate content in line with your company's expectations and standards. We're hearing that the functionalities I talked about today are just the beginning. More and more often, new and innovative ideas are emerging for using artificial intelligence in product data management. One of the solutions being tested is importing unstructured product data into the PIM system, where the structure is already established. AI's task is to help organize the data and assign it to the appropriate attributes. There are plenty of ideas, but each of these solutions requires multiple rounds of testing before it can become real support for PIM system users. So we're looking forward with curiosity to the next functionalities that software developers will implement in PIMs. If you're interested in the topic of AI in PIM systems and want to see how the description generation and content translation features work in practice, we invite you to a free consultation. We'll be happy to show you live in the PIM system how the features we discussed today work and how they can make your daily work easier. In the episode description, you'll find links to articles and videos that show how these mechanisms work in practice. We encourage you to check them out and ask questions. Thanks for today, and see you next time.